Here's a shocking revelation you probably never heard about because the mainstream media won't touch it. Over 300,000 migrant children have vanished under the Biden-Harris administration's watch. This alarming crisis dwarfs anything we've ever seen before. Now stick with us because we're going to break down how the system failed these kids, why no one's talking about it. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So do me a favor, hit the notification bell and smash that like button. We are doing another live stream tomorrow night, as we do every Friday night at 6 o'clock Eastern. We read interesting news stories of the week and tweak them with a bit of humor, a dash of sarcasm, and a whole lot of conservative common sense. Hope to see you there. All right, let's get into this. All right, folks, we've got a bombshell story today that will leave you questioning everything. Everything. Over 300,000, yes, 300,000 migrant children have disappeared under the Biden-Harris regime. But here's the thing. Hardly anyone is talking about it. The mainstream media? Silent. The politicians? MIA. On both sides, practically. How did we get here? And more importantly, where are these kids? Now, before you say, but what happened under the Trump administration? Let's get something clear. The numbers we're dealing with aren't just bad. They're catastrophic. A Homeland Security Inspector General report reveals that from 2019 to 2023, a whopping 32,000 migrant children never showed up for their court dates. That alone is horrifying, but it gets worse. According to the same report, 291,000 kids by the Biden administration were never even given a court date in the first place. That's irresponsible of this regime. That's a total of over 300,000 children gone, vanished, poof. Now, you might be wondering, where did they go? And why isn't anyone talking about this? This is where it gets really disturbing, guys. The report says these unaccompanied kids who fail to appear in court are at a much higher risk of being trafficked, exploited, or forced into labor. So not only has the system failed them, but it has also put them in grave danger. We're talking about a humanitarian crisis that has been swept under the rug. Our news media is a disgrace. Worse than a disgrace, it's a humiliation. Yeah, but then again, you have to have the ability to feel shame to be humiliated, and no one in the Biden-Harris regime, nor in the mainstream news media, have that ability. You're saying, but Rich, it can't get worse. Oh, with these people, it always could get worse. And by worse, I mean outright incompetence. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, if you will, and the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, are supposed to keep track of these kids. But guess what? They've dropped the ball big time under Biden-Harris. ICE failed to issue court notices for many of these children, meaning there's no way to even try to contact them after they were released from HHS custody. This all falls on Biden-Harris and Alejandro Mayorkas, the chief at Homeland Security, that is the umbrella for all these alphabet agencies that failed these kids. And it doesn't stop there. ICE also didn't inform HHS when kids didn't show up for court. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. And the consequences have been disastrous. Now, mind you, the agents who work for these departments are professionals who, up until Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came along, did their jobs with professionalism and excellence. So we are to believe that suddenly, all of a sudden, all of these federal employees simultaneously decided to crap out on doing their jobs? That's one hell of a coincidence, right? Or does it make more sense that these three stooges in charge that I just mentioned gave orders for them to conduct business that way? Which makes more sense? Thousands of agents suddenly at the same time went rogue, or they were ordered to do so? Remember Kamala Harris? Yeah, back in 2018, she was all fired up about 2,000 kids being separated from their parents under Trump. Now, this video, the volume, I tried to work with it. I couldn't get better volume, so hopefully it comes through. Give it a watch.
The Department of Homeland Security, in fact, just confirmed that 2,000 children have been taken from their parents, many who are under the age of 4 years old. And we know this is not who we are as a country, and our government should not be in the business of tearing families apart, but instead should be concerned with keeping families together.
Oh, yeah. See, the fact of the matter is she made a big fuss. She shed some crocodile tears, and then Fast forward to 2023, she's been the border czar since the beginning of this regime, and now we find that 300,000 kids are missing. Cricket from Kamala. The hypocrisy is mind-blowing. Now, you've got to ask yourself, why isn't anyone being held accountable? Because that's the nature of this regime. No one is ever held accountable. A former president was shot and not a single Secret Service agent was fired. But I digress. Now, here's the thing. Kamala knew that the Trump administration and the Obama administration and the Bush administration all separated children from their illegal migrant parents because a court ordered them to. A judge thought, rightfully so, that it was dangerous to have children in the same cells as adults because some of those adults that their parents don't know could become violent at any time, putting the children at risk. But apparently, Kamala Harris, and AOC for that matter, they wanted to put those children at risk for a political issue. And that's pretty disgusting, if you ask me. In 2023 alone, over 113,000 unaccompanied migrant children entered the U.S., largely because of Biden's open border policies. Here's the thing. Under Trump, HHS had trouble finding 1,500 kids over 3 months in 2018. Under Biden, 85,000 kids are unaccounted for in just 2 years' time. The numbers don't lie, guys. This is a crisis of epic proportions. Yet, despite all this, the media and political leaders remain silent. It's almost as if they're hoping we won't notice, but we see it, and it's time for us to speak up. The Biden-Harris administration must be held accountable for this humanitarian disaster. Kamala, as the friggin' border czar, supported an open border, and now, just 68 days before the election, she's coming out saying she's for building a wall and closing down the border? Are you kidding me? They have revised the numbers to upwards of 30 million illegals who have come into our country under the Biden-Harris administration. And now Kamala's going to get tough on the border? Let me tell you something. If you believe that, then I have some wonderful miracle supplements I am dying to sell you. All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with the latest that's going on with this ongoing border crisis. I'll see you in the next one. Spread the word.
Your mama forgot